Welcome to another episode of the A-List Movie Club. I am your host, the Game Changer, Wes Truth. And with me, as always, are Dominic and John. How's it going tonight, guys?
Good.
And of course, this is the show where each week one of us picks a different film for the others to check out. And this time it was my turn. So I picked one of my, if you watched our show last week, you'll know this was one of my all-time favorite films, and that is the 2016 film La La Land. And there it is. Taking place in modern-day Los Angeles, Mia, an aspiring actress, works at a studio coffee shop between auditions. Seems like she can't catch a break. Sebastian, a struggling jazz piano player looking for a new gig but can't seem to get it, is having trouble putting money on the table. The two dreamers keep bumping into each other after a chance meeting, and at first aren't the biggest fans of each other. They soon begin to feel a bit different and begin to have feelings toward each other. The two become a couple with big aspirations, as she wants to be a big-time actress, and he wants to open up his own nightclub that will feature jazz music. Will the couple be able to last when big changes are thrown their way? So this film was directed by Damien Chazelle, who at the time was best known his other film Whiplash, and this was released on December 16th, 2016.
I got a funny story about this. When this movie came out, Wesley and I were going to go to see it on Christmas Day. And we drove over to the movie theater and it was completely sold out. Now, at the time, the car I had a malfunctioning gas tank and would not tell you whether it was full or empty. It always showed empty. And it was, because on the way back, we ran out of gas in the middle of a traffic circle in Hilliard, Ohio. And I had to call AAA to come out and bring us some gas.
On Christmas Day.
Christmas Day.
Well, I bet that guy hated you.
So, but then after we went, I don't know, a week later or something like that, or a couple days later. Yeah. And when we got there were only 2 seats left in the theater in the front row. So we meander our way down to the front row, looking at, Emma Stone had a 15-foot nostril. So, it was just crazy. And I remember when this movie started, it was on for a minute and a half, and they broke out into song. And I looked at Wesley and I said to him, I'm going to fucking kill you for making me watch. But as the movie went on, I really started to get into it. And by the end of the movie, I turned to Wesley and said, I love this movie. This is just a great movie. It is a true throwback to the old time Hollywood. The cinematography, the photography, was just absolutely beautiful. The color in this movie, it was magical. It really was a magical movie. And I hate Ryan Gosling, but no, I'm only kidding. Ryan Gosling, you seem like a really nice dude, okay? But I'm just not into a lot of your different movies. But I really, really liked him in this. I thought he played the part perfectly. I don't know if they could have casted better for this movie with both Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling. And what was really, really interesting about this movie, there weren't many ancillary characters. I mean, there was John Legend played a part, but he didn't have a big part in the movie. And nobody else really. It was truly basically the story of these two people.
Yeah.
So I liked it. I loved it. Loved the movie.
You don't like Ryan Gosling, but we've now reviewed 2 of his movies. So.
Yeah, I know.
Well, remember who picked the 2 movies.
Yeah, Wesley with the perpetual hard-on for him.
His man crush. Yeah. I'm not a big musical guy. Like I've seen Rocky Horror, I've seen Grease.
Yeah.
I think about Moulin Rouge.
Yeah, I'm not a big musical guy either, though.
Yeah, I could not get through Sweeney Todd. I kept falling asleep, and I was so bored with it.
Dominic hates that too.
Yeah, I couldn't get into it.
Yeah.
So I didn't have the best of expectations. I heard all the hoopla. I like Emma Stone, one of my girls. I like Ryan Gosling. I'm like, all right, I'll give it a shot for the show. And I kind of like you. I just started out slow, and I was just sort of like, I'm not into this. And then, like, I started sort of getting into these characters, and then I was like, you know what, this is a pretty damn good movie.
It is.
Yeah, it reminded me of. I mean, I don't watch those movies, but you know, those old time like Fred Astaire kind of movies, Ginger
Right,
Rogers,
Exactly. Yeah.
like a throwback to those. Yeah, I didn't know either one of those two could sing. They weren't bad.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that Ryan Gosling practiced the piano for 6 hours a day for 6 months before they started this movie, and he played all the piano parts in it?
Way to steal some of my trivia.
I thought it was something like that, 6 hours a day for 6 months or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I only recognize like John Legend and J.K. Simmons and what's his face? Emma Stone's husband at the end.
Oh, yeah.
Well, those were they really sort of recognized. But yeah, I mean, the singing was good. The dance, like you said, it's beautifully shot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's gorgeous to look at. It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
and
what
you were bored. It wasn't like, oh God, they're singing again. You know, it was like I wasn't bored. You know, I was into it. It's good.
Good. Yeah, I thought they did it very well. That you really got to that the singing was almost essential to the storyline. My favorite number in the whole movie is when Emma Stone was at the audition and she started singing, you know, with telling that story. And that was absolutely beautiful.
That totally made me cry, that song.
And you alluded to it, John, when you said Emma Stone's husband in this movie. I think it was great that they had them not end up together. I think it was a heart-wrenching kind of ending, but I think it was so much better than, oh, they got together and they lived happily ever after until he shot her in a jealous rage, you know?
Well, it's more real because not everyone ends up together, you know?
Right.
When I first started watching it, because I already kind of figured based on the cover and the trailers, like they were a couple. Mm-hmm. So in the beginning, when they're like, he's a bit of an asshole and he blows her off, and I'm like, I've seen this a million times in every rom-com ever. Yeah. They hate each other, then they fall in love. Yeah. So when it went that way, I was like, oh, you know. But then, yeah, I like how it sort of had a twist ending. I guess they changed it.
Yeah.
I also like that they talk like real people talk.
Right.
Like the dialogue is how people who are getting to know each other when they're out on a date is how they talk.
Now, I'll tell you what, John, we just did our 20 greatest movies of all time, and our 20 favorite artists of all time, musical artists. And Wesley brought up a couple points. I completely whiffed on this. This should have been in my top 20 movies. I really believe that. And then the other one I whiffed on was, he reminded me, he goes, after we did the show, he goes, Dominic, I thought you'd have Jimi Hendrix on your list. And I'm like, no.
It's tough.
And Big Lebowski on your movie list.
Lebowski.
They stole the rug.
That rug really brought the room together. Okay, Wesley, you'll give us your love letter to Ryan Gosling now.
So yeah, so many things that I love about cinema are featured in this movie. Like you guys said, it's a throwback to the classic musicals of the 40s and 50s. It reminded me a little bit of like Singing in the Rain, those type of movies. If you're a fan of those, I think you'll fall in love with this film. Uh, Beautiful looking, gorgeous and impressive scenery. The backgrounds, especially in the tap dancing song, Lovely Night, giving it that big time Hollywood feel. And the costumes are amazing as well. Song and dance numbers are some of the best I've seen, from the opening number with the people dancing on top of their cars in traffic, even floating in the planetarium. It's just amazing choreography all around.
Right.
I thought it might look cheesy that they break into song out of nowhere now and then, but it's a good kind of cheese, and you do get used to it after a while.
Now, you said something about the costumes. Now, didn't you write the studio about getting Ryan Gosling's underwear?
Oh my God. Yeah, I thought this was very genuine. Like John, you said, John, that how they talk like real people talk, and it shows the great times and terrible times that can happen in a relationship. It's naturally funny, sweet, powerful, and heartbreaking. We really feel for the characters. Like when Mia's in the audition and she gives a great performance, but is interrupted by someone or just ignored, or and then feeling embarrassed afterwards, or putting everything on a dream. You put that on hold to do the right thing. And I love that montage at the end of the film. Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling have great chemistry. We've seen them together before in Crazy Stupid Love and Gangster Squad, but I feel like they're definitely the best here. It's just the right pairing. And I really liked John Legend in this movie as well. It was a surprise when I saw it the first time. So that was cool. But yeah, just one of my all-time favorite movies. And like Dominic said, it's magical. It really is. They don't make them like this anymore.
No. In fact, it was even a hit in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
This type of movie was like long dead. It didn't make these kind of movies anymore.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Yeah, for it to be a hit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was definitely a big chance.
And I think that's why it became a hit. I honestly think that if they did more musicals that were as well done as this, like Les Mis, fuck Les Mis. I mean, goddamn, we've seen it 100 times. But something like this that is
original,
an original and not taken from a Broadway play or something like that. I think that if one came out a year or one every 2 years, I think the public would be very receptive to this.
Yeah. With the right actors.
You have to have actors and the right story and everything. And this just kind of, it just clicked the mark on everything.
The audition scene where the casting director interrupts Mia while she's crying to take a phone call was actually inspired by one of Ryan Gosling's real life auditions.
That's awesome.
All the piano performances in the film were recorded by pianist Randy Kerber, who I never heard of. Ryan Gosling spent 2 hours a day, 6 days a week in piano lessons, learning the music by heart. By the time filming begun, Ryan Gosling could play all the parts himself.
Wow.
Okay.
The song you guys like that Emma Stone does at the end, she did it live in one take.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah, the music was in her ear. It's all that she had, and she just sang.
Wow, yeah.
The role was originally offered to Emma Watson.
I knew that, yeah.
Who turned it down to do Beauty and the Beast.
Which didn't
she could have had an Oscar.
Which, I mean, the Beauty and the Beast didn't turn out so bad for her, though.
Well,
No,
that's a good movie.
it was no La La Land though.
And Ryan Gosling turned down the role of Beast in that movie to do La La Land.
Wow,
That's pretty cool.
that was a good move on his part.
And Emma Stone was supposed to be in Little Women, but she couldn't do it because she was filming The Favorite. So Emma Watson took her place.
That's weird.
Wow.
I honestly forgot Emma Watson was in that movie.
When he tells her about putting her key thing under her chin to try and find her car, it does work, but it does not cause cancer. It says they use a frequency that does well with water, and since the human body has water in it, it works. The director wanted to shoot it in the tradition of the old musicals without any cuts or editing.
Oh, wow.
The first musical number in the beginning, when they're stuck in traffic, that's only 30 real life people. The rest is all CGI.
Wow.
Wow.
The cars and the people in the background, sort of, off camera, aren't real people. John Legend had to learn the guitar for his role.
Well, he's so talented that
Yeah.
it probably wasn't it was probably hard for him.
The song When I Wake was in the movie Whiplash. The two characters are out on a date. And then in this movie, when they're out on a date, the song is playing in the background.
Okay.
Oh.
I've never seen Whiplash. So.
Oh. It's awesome.
J.K. Simmons is incredible in that movie.
Yeah, he won an Oscar, didn't he?
Yeah.
That first song on the Stuck in Traffic song, it was 109 degrees that day. I'd have been in the car with the air on going, nah, I'm good.
I'm surprised they weren't like passing out.
The choreographer of that entire scene was hiding under a car, choreographing it from there so she wouldn't be on camera, so you wouldn't see her.
Holy crap.
Wow.
Imagine how hot it is under a freaking car. The director, Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone, visited Gene Kelly's widow, and she allowed him to look through some of his old film memorabilia, including his leather-bound copy of the original script for Singing in the Rain.
Wow.
At the end of the visit, as they were leaving, her dog ran out, and Chazelle and Gosling were running around trying to find this dog. The director said to Gosling, "We will not kill Gene Kelly's widow's dog." They found him. Tom Hanks loved this film so much that during a press conference to promote his film Sully, he told everyone to go watch this film instead. I bet the studio loved that.
I can see Tom Hanks doing that too.
The Planetarium Scene was built on a Hollywood set. They weren't allowed to film in the actual planetarium.
Okay.
Film was shot in 8 weeks.
Wow.
Oh, that's pretty quick.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, considering all the dances and stuff.
Yeah. Shares the record for all-time most Oscar nominations, 14.
Wow.
Titanic and All About Eve. La La Land is the only one to not win Best Picture.
And we all remember that fiasco. It did win, and then it didn't.
Oh yeah, that was Moonlight?
Moonlight, yeah.
Which I have, but I've never seen.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
It broke the record for the most Golden Globe Awards with 7.
Wow.
Also holds the record for 7 wins and 7 nominations.
Good.
The original script had Sebastian wanting to be a successful jazz musician, and Ryan Gosling petitioned to get it changed to wanting to own a jazz club.
That makes sense.
The freeway that they sing that first song on is the same freeway used in Speed for when the bus jumps.
Oh wow.
No, the bridge, the road isn't built yet, so they jump. Same freeway.
And I know that planetarium's in a lot of movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miles Teller was originally supposed to be Ryan Gosling's part.
Oh.
Miles Teller and Emma Watson were the original two. Imagine that.
No.
That would have bombed.
Miles Teller dropped out. Imagine, he must feel like an idiot.
For what? Don't tell me Fantastic Four. That would be the worst career choice of the ones we've mentioned.
Hire his agent and his manager.
That's why. What movies has he been in lately?
He was the first director to win an Academy Award for Best Director for a film since Bob Fosse for Cabaret in 1972.
Wow.
His real-life girlfriend played the customer at the shop who requested a refund right before Ryan Gosling came in to visit her.
Right.
It's the director's girlfriend. That's for you, Dom. The location on the Warner Brothers lot where Mia tells Sebastian that she hates jazz is the same street used for the cover of Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here.
Oh, wow.
The first movie shot entirely on film to win an Academy Award for cinematography since Inception.
Wow.
I still have no idea what the hell that movie's about.
All right. Let's rate this pig.
All right, go ahead.
I loved it. I absolutely love this movie. I'm kind of stuck between a 9 and a 10 on it. Man, I think I'm going to go 10.
It's a 10 for me.
Wow. That surprises.
You don't even have to ask. An 11. So it's a 10, definitely, for me as well.
Very good movie.
Yes.
All righty. So I guess it's my turn to pick the movie this time. Wesley and I were so wrong originally about Hereditary that I almost want to do Midsummer. The only problem with that is I don't know if it's terrible. I don't want to sit 3 hours watching it.
Gotta take a gamble.
Is it really that long?
Yeah,
it's like 2:45 at least.
Oh wow, that's long for a horror movie.
Yeah. I just, I was gonna say, the other movie I'm stuck with is This Is Spinal Tap. Okay, which I think was just a hysterical movie. But I'm more interested into seeing my wife's reaction of Midsummer that I'm going to pick Midsummer.
The Ari Aster double feature from Dominic.
All right.
All right. So we will be back next week with our thoughts on Midsummer. But until then, John, you want to talk a little bit about your podcast?
Yeah, We Like Wrestling podcast. It's 4 guys sitting around talking about wrestling, pay-per-view reviews, current events, anything wrestling related. We're on Spotify, Apple iTunes, wherever you find podcasts. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We Like Wrestling podcast.
All right. And of course, for me, you can subscribe right here on YouTube, youtube.com/Westside of 515. Like the show on Facebook, facebook.com/WestTruePaylist. And of course, you can follow me on the Twitter and the Instagram @WestAlist. Until next time, truth out.
You're such an ass.